Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into some really powerful texts. We're looking at ancient scriptures and a modern reflection to explore something fundamental. Love. But maybe not love as we always think about it.
Right. It's about uncovering, these deep truths about connection, purpose, and what it really means.
Okay, let's unpack this. So the source material today includes bits from the book of Ruth, the Psalms, the Gospel of Matthew, and like I said, a contemporary reflection tying these themes together.
Exactly. And our mission really is to explore what it truly means to love, not just as an idea, but in a way that genuinely impacts our lives, our relationships with others, and maybe even with a higher power. We want to pull out the key insights from all these sources.
So where do we start? The foundation, right?
Yeah.
The greatest commandment.
The absolute cornerstone.
We're looking at the Gospel of Matthew here. So picture this. Jesus is being tested by the Pharisees. They were, a religious group known for really sticking to the letter of the law.
And they often challenged him, trying to trip him up.
Right. So one of them, a scholar of the law, like a legal expert, steps up and asks this huge question. Teacher, which commandment in the law is the greatest? A test, basically.
And Jesus's answer is, well, it's profound. He doesn't just pick one rule. He says, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind."
Okay, the first part.
This is the greatest and the first commandment, but then he immediately adds, and the second is like it.
That connection is crucial.
Exactly. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. It's a pair, a dual commandment.
And then he lands the final point, doesn't he? Saying that the whole law and the prophets depend on these two commandments. Like everything else hangs on this.
Everything. It's a radical simplification, really. All the laws, all the prophets boiled down to loving God and loving your neighbor. It shifts the whole focus. And that connects directly to the modern reflection piece we're looking at. It points out how Jesus reminds us that love is the foundation of all commandments, love for God and love for neighbor.
That heart.
Yes, our faith is not complete without this harmony of love. It's not just ticking two boxes. It's suggesting that genuine love for God just naturally flows into how we treat other people. Compassion, respect, it's all linked.
Okay, so that's the foundation. Love God, love neighbor, powerful idea. But how does that actually, work in real life when things get messy?
Great question. And for that, we turn to this incredible story, the book of Ruth.
Yes, Ruth. Such a compelling narrative. It starts, the text says, once in the time of the judges, there was a famine in the land in Bethlehem.
And that phrase, time of the judges, signals a period of, chaos and instability for Israel. Not an easy time.
No. So this famine forces a family, Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, to leave Bethlehem. They head off to Moab.
Which was a huge deal. Leaving your homeland, your people, seeking refuge as foreigners because you're desperate for food.
Yeah, I'm a gamble.
But Moab isn't the end of their troubles. Tragedy strikes. First, Elimelech, Naomi's husband, dies.
Leaving her a widow in a foreign land.
And then it gets worse. About 10 years later, both her sons also die.
Oh, devastating.
Absolutely devastating. Naomi is left widowed, childless, far from home. In that culture, without male relatives, her situation was incredibly precarious, socially, economically, just vulnerable.
So she hears news, right, that the famine back home in Judah is over, that the Lord had visited his people and given them food.
So she decides to return. A long, hard journey back, likely alone and with very little.
But she wasn't quite alone yet. She had her two daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth, who were Moabite women, married to her late sons.
Right. And here's this really poignant moment. Naomi basically tells them, look, go back to your own families, your own mother's homes, find new husbands, you'll be better off. She's trying to release them.
Thinking of their future.
Yes. And Orpah, she makes the sensible choice, really, the culturally expected choice. She kisses Naomi goodbye, cries, and heads back to her people and her God.
The logical path. But Ruth doesn't follow. This is where it gets really interesting, isn't it?
This is the turning point. Orpah does what makes sense. Ruth faces the same choice, go back to safety and familiarity, or cling to her grieving, destitute mother-in-law.
And her response is just legendary.
It truly is. Ruth says to Naomi, and you can just imagine the emotion, "Do not ask me to abandon or forsake you. For wherever you go, I will go. Wherever I lodge, I will lodge.
Wow.
Your people shall be my people, and your God my God." It's this declaration of absolute, unwavering loyalty and commitment. It goes way beyond duty.
It's choosing connection over everything else. Safety, background, religion.
Exactly. It's a radical act of choosing someone else's well-being, their path, as your own. She's choosing Naomi's people, Naomi's God. This Moabite woman is casting her lot entirely with this Israelite widow.
So powerful. And the text notes they arrive back in Bethlehem together at the beginning of the barley harvest.
Which is significant, right? A time of new growth, of sustenance after the famine. It hints at hope, at providence, perhaps?
Yeah, a new beginning.
And Ruth's story becomes this perfect, lived-out example of love your neighbor as yourself. Her selfless commitment, her loyalty that crosses cultural and religious lines, despite immense personal risk and hardship. It embodies that second great commandment in action.
It really does. It's love made tangible. But, Ruth's story is human. Amazing, but human. How do the Psalms maybe elevate this? Does they give us a sense of the divine side of this kind of love?
That's a great bridge because, yes, the Psalms, particularly Psalm 146, which is used as a responsorial psalm in this context, paint a picture of God as the ultimate source and example of this steadfast love, or hesed in Hebrew.
Okay, what does it say?
Well, it starts by describing God as the helper, the hope, the creator, who made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them. Immense power.
Right, the creator God.
But then it immediately pivots to God's character in action. God keeps faith forever, secures justice for the oppressed, gives food to the hungry. Sounds relevant to Naomi and Ruth's situation, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Famine, oppression.
Exactly. And it continues. God sets captives free, gives sight to the blind, raises up those who were bowed down. There's this focus on restoration, on lifting people up.
And specifically,
it says God loves the just and protects strangers, and crucially, God sustains the fatherless and the widow.
Wow. That maps directly onto Naomi, the widow, and Ruth, the stranger, doesn't it?
It aligns perfectly. God's care for the vulnerable, described in the psalm, is mirrored in the circumstances unfolding for Ruth and Naomi, the famine ending, their arrival at harvest time. It suggests that Ruth's incredible human love, her faithfulness, reflects a divine pattern. It's like she's embodying God's own character.
So human love can echo divine love. And our other source brings in Psalm 119, verse 47. I delight in your commands, which I love. That's not just duty, that's affection for God's ways.
Precisely. It's finding joy in living according to these principles of love and justice. And then there's that prayer from Psalm 25, teach me your paths, my God, guide me in your truth.
A desire to learn, to align.
Yeah, an act of seeking. Teach me how to live this truth, this path of love, not just for you, but like you, in how I relate to others.
Okay, so we've seen the command, we've seen it lived out incredibly by Ruth, and we've seen its reflection in the descriptions of God's own love in the Psalms. Bringing it all together, what does this mean for you listening, for us today?
Right, the practical application, that reflection source hits this directly. It emphasizes that true love for God flows into the way we treat others with compassion and respect. It's not theoretical.
The two are linked.
Inseparable. And it challenges us, point blank, to examine if our actions truly reflect this greatest commandment. Are we just saying we love God, or does it actually show up in how we interact with people every day? It's asking for some honest self-reflection.
And it doesn't just leave us there thinking. It gives us language for action from the prayer section. This desire to love you with all my heart, soul, and mind. And this is key to see your image in every person I meet.
Seeing the divine spark in everyone.
Yeah. And asking for help to remove the selfishness and pride that keep me from loving fully. Recognizing the internal barriers. And then it lands with a very concrete question for you, the listener.
Yeah.
What is one concrete way I can show love to someone today as a reflection of my love for God?
Making it tangible, not just feeling love, but doing love. One small action today.
What a journey through these texts today.
Yeah.
It's just so clear how interconnected it all is. The command to love God, love neighbor. It's not abstract, it's practical, it's revolutionary. We see it in Ruth's incredible devotion, defying all odds.
Absolutely.
And we see it echoed in the nature of God in the Psalms, that steadfast, just, compassionate love. It really paints a whole picture of how life maybe is meant to be lived.
It really does. And perhaps it leaves us with a final thought to wrestle with, especially, in our world today, which often seems to push self-interest division. How might really prioritizing this radical love of neighbor, the kind Ruth showed, a love that looks past cost, past background, past what seems logical sometimes. How might that truly reshape our communities, our own lives? Could it foster a deeper sense of connection, of shared purpose?
That's definitely something to chew on. A powerful question about how living out this ancient wisdom might actually change things right here, right now. We hope you'll take that away and explore what it means for you.